Hello and welcome. I'm Daniel,
And I'm Andrew, and we're brothers. And this is the Daniel and Andrew Show.
where we give our opinions about TV and movies that we've been watching lately. So, Andrew, how you doing today?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing all right. Start to a brand new week here. Did you have a good week last week?
It was good. Been playing some new games and stuff, but nothing really remarkable or anything. What about you?
I've been seeing people in live theater. I saw a couple shows this week, and that was fun. It's nice to see your friends. And working on working on my own theater projects. So that's been kind of interesting, kind of working out stuff. There's a lot of stuff that goes into that, contracts and stuff like that people don't really think about when putting on stuff like that. But so that's kind of interesting. I went and saw Air. Yeah, and that was a really good movie about the creation of the Air Jordan shoes and them trying to get Michael for a partnership to make the shoes, because I guess Nike was not the number one company at the time. So
yeah, I think it's getting good reviews, right?
Yeah, I would give it an 8. It was quite engaging, even though it's that they're gonna get the deal, obviously, as a biggest shoe, pretty much. But it was still fun and interesting, and Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, Chris Tucker, Viola Davis, some good acting in it.
It's like an all-star cast sort of thing.
Yeah, but this is one of those ones where it's like actually decent. Like, it's not just, oh, they have a lot of people in it. It's like they actually do a good job. And it was actually quite interesting seeing how they make the shoe, like how they design it and everything. And it's mostly true stuff. Yep, it was a good movie. So I would definitely check that out if you haven't. Whoever's listening, I would check that movie out.
I don't know. I'm probably not gonna watch it, so
you could probably watch it at home. It's definitely, it's not necessary to see in the theater. It's not like there's something big. It takes place in an office building pretty much. So
I mean, it sounds like kind of like Moneyball or one of those types of movies. And
well, me being more interested in basketball recently, I found it more interesting than Moneyball, because Moneyball is about baseball. So I thought that was more.
I think the Moneyball story is a little more interesting, but
yeah. Anyway, so there was that, and there was some other things that I was looking forward to watching. I started the second season of Schmigadoon, which is on Apple.
You watched the first season of that?
Yeah, it's good. It's a good show.
Oh, so goofy.
I love it. It's all musical theater related, so I like it.
Yeah, it looks so lame.
They do a really good job with that, because it feels like that, but it's also parodying that at the same time.
Yeah, I know the shtick. I watched the trailer. It just
you might like the second season, because it's more musicals that you actually know, that you've heard of, but because they're in a new era. But yeah, anyway, that I will definitely give my full thoughts when that finishes up. But yeah, I don't know. I thought there was not really that much news that really caught my eye. Really, there's a few things here and there. Adam Driver's rumored to be Mr. Fantastic. And some people are like that, exactly, ugh, that's a terrible choice, because they've only seen Star Wars with him in, and then other people are like, that's amazing choice. Great choice, love that choice. I think he's a pretty good choice. He's a good actor. Not a lot of things where his performance isn't good in things that I've seen. So I'm fine with that choice, and that means no John Krasinski, and I don't have to see his wife, so I'm cool with that.
I mean, they've already done that, so I mean, as long at least we got him one time, but I still think he's the best pick.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm curious. They haven't said much about that movie other than the director so far, so we'll see what happens with that. MCU has been in trouble recently. We'll see how Guardians does. That comes out in 2 weeks, so I'm excited for that. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Did you? I don't know if this is even recent, but did you see Jake Gyllenhaal got like super ripped for his role?
Which role?
He's in some USC movie or something like that.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
Where you played like a boxer, Southpaw? Is that what you're talking about?
No. Yeah, so there was that movie. He's like, this is a UFC one that he's doing, and he's even like bigger now.
Oh, okay. Well, steroids are his friend, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe he's been jacked.
He's been one of those guys that also does like the crazy body transformations, like Batman.
Yeah,
what's his
name?
Bale,
Guy.
Christian
Yeah.
Bale.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think it's kind of gross. I don't really like it when they do that.
I don't think they've come out with like a trailer or anything. It was just like he came out to like film a fight for the movie or whatever. So it was just like cameras, not like real cameras or anything like that.
They're making a movie about the Von Erichs, which is a pro wrestling family from like the 70s and 80s, and Zac Efron's going to be the lead, and they gave him this like big moppy wig, and he's like jacked. It looks really great. And that wrestler that he's, I think, portraying is the one that wrestled barefoot, so he's like looks ridiculous. There were some pictures of that. But yeah,
no idea who the Von Erichs are.
The dad of the family, the parent, he's the one that came up with the Iron Claw. That's what he's famous for, and I think the movie's going to be called The Iron Claw. But yeah,
okay.
But yeah, there's some definitely actors that like to get in crazy conditions, big fat or really skinny or jacked. That's what happens, right? MCU, they do, fat guys getting jacked.
Yeah, you didn't see him though. He's like, he's like a bodybuilder or something, like one of those guys. Gotcha. Yeah.
I know that Jonathan Majors was going to be in a movie about like those bodybuilders, and I don't know if that movie is ever going to see the light of day now, but yeah. A movie that I heard about that actually does get me interested: Halle Berry versus Angelina Jolie in a movie called Maude versus Maude, and it's a spy thriller, action thriller movie. That sounds pretty good to me. Would it be like rival agents or something like that?
Is a John Wick guy doing it?
There's nothing on that. It's just like that it's in production and those actresses will be the leads. Somebody said that they were going for a Bourne versus Bond approach to it.
Oh,
so
that sounds very interesting.
So I guess what Halle Berry would be Bond, or Angelina Jolie would be Bond.
I don't know. I think either of them could play either side.
Well, Halle Berry has been in John Wick, which is kind of Bourne-ish, and then Halle Berry's also been a Bond girl in an actual James Bond movie, so she could do either one. You're correct on that. And Angelina Jolie seen Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and she was in Salt and Wanted. So those are good choices. Oscar winners right there too, both of them. So cool. Yeah, I'm curious. That definitely does get me interested. One of those like 2000s movies there, sounds like to me. The action movies that they did. I hope it's more fun and less serious, to be honest. But I could see them being serious too about it. we'll see.
Okay.
They had they say at Paramount Plus they're doing a Galaxy Quest TV show. Does that even get you remotely interested?
Well, I actually like the show by Family Guy, dude.
The Orville.
Yeah, that show's actually pretty good. I don't know if they're going. Galaxy Quest is kind of like a comedy version
Yep.
of Star Trek.
Yeah.
Even though the Orville, I know you haven't seen it, it ends up
I've seen
just
a couple
basic.
episodes.
It's like,
Becoming
yeah, it was like comedy at first, but now it's almost just like basically Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Like,
Yeah, that's what worries me about a TV show, Galaxy Quest TV show. I think they could just end up becoming another Star Trek. And the thing is like I don't care about Star Trek, so
yeah. Well, lots of people like Star Trek, so
well, but you can't even do it again like this because the Alan Rickman passed away. He's in the original movie, so it's not like you can bring everyone back or anything. So
yeah, I didn't think they were gonna bring it. Everyone's like they were old in that movie. Now they're gonna be super old in this one.
Sigourney Weaver and Tim Allen and stuff. Yeah. I don't know.
Unless
I like that movie a
put her
lot.
in a teen body again, like Avatar.
So weird, and I don't know if we ever talked about that, but that's super weird.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird. But you know that he loves her, Sigourney Weaver. James Cameron loves her, the aliens and stuff. So
I mean, yeah, she's been in like all of his movies.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a TV show that I would have caution because I feel like the movie's very good, so you could kind of mess it up. And
I mean, that's like everything these days.
They're trying to just mine out of anything. So they're talking about maybe doing a Twilight TV show, and it's like they already had the movies. It's just like Harry Potter. They already have the movies. Why are you going to do it again? It just doesn't make any sense. It's not like those movies were good or anything, but I still don't understand why you would do it again.
Money.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I still think people want Twilight content and Harry Potter content. I guess you're saying like because the Harry Potter when they're redoing the movies or whatever.
Yeah.
If they do a TV show in like the Twilight world or whatever.
No, it's the same thing. They're going to redo the books.
As a movie or as a show?
As a TV show. Exactly the same as Harry Potter.
Yeah, that's fine.
Whatever.
I think the Harry Potter one, I think it'd be interesting to see more details on like the actual like in school stuff, like really deep dive into the lore and stuff.
But I feel like what are you missing with Twilight? I don't think you're missing anything.
Twilight, well, I mean,
made 5 movies.
Never read the books, but yeah, I didn't even like the ending to it. It was a terrible ending.
I think I've only seen. We saw the 3rd one or something, and then I think I watched part of the last one. I don't even think I've seen the first one.
I haven't seen the good old like a spider monkey or something. He said something about a spider monkey.
I have no idea. Whatever.
It's so cringy, the dialogue.
So I woke up like I was trying to find more TV stuff to talk about this week because we're talking about a TV show. And this morning I looked on Twitter and Len Goodman was trending on Twitter. I was like, why is Len Goodman trending on Twitter? He left Dancing with the Stars last year. He passed away today. So that blows. And there's like every celebrity that was ever on Dancing with the Stars is like talking about him today. But I know that you were a ballroom dancer at one time. And
was that the host? I don't know.
No, Len was the older guy, the head judge.
Oh, the guy with the one who sat in the middle always.
Yep. he was on the original show on Strictly, and then he came over to do the American one as well as the head judge.
Okay. Yeah, he like didn't show up for COVID or something like that. They got a
Yeah,
different host or something.
yeah. They kept him. They brought him back after the COVID stuff.
Yeah.
Because he was stuck in Britain, so he couldn't do the American show then. But
I think they went to like 4 hosts. They didn't. The other guy,
Derek,
they kept him as a host. I think
Derek became the main judge, and then they went to 4 of them.
Yeah,
when Len came back, and then Len just left the show last year, and now he passed. He's like, I want to go enjoy my retirement. So yeah. He was 78, but I don't know. That's something that kind of grew up with that show. So, but yeah,
he was also the only coach that actually.
He was a ballroom guy. He was ballroom guy. He wasn't.
Yeah, he's the only one that critiques like actually. The other ones are just like, oh my gosh, it's so great.
Yeah,
since you're a beginner or whatever.
I think they put Derek there because everyone knows that he's like the best, so they've kind of put him in that spot, I think. Anyway,
yeah, he is pretty crazy. He does a lot of like the solo things where they just have him perform or whatever, like every year.
Yep.
And they're all with his wife.
Yep.
And he's just always insane. So.
Yeah, I really want to see. He did a show in Vegas, and I really wanted to see it, but didn't get to see it. It was like he got COVID when we got there, and we were like, let's get some tickets, and then it's like, oh, they canceled the show for a couple weeks. It's like, dang it.
Yeah, so, that would have been pretty cool to see.
If he ever does it again, I would come and see it. But yeah, so. A couple trailers that I saw this week on the trailer train here. There was a Godzilla versus Kong. Well, it's not Godzilla versus Kong. It's Godzilla X Kong now. The New Empire is the subtitle. It was like 20 seconds, and it was just basically the reveal for the title. It's coming out next year.
Is it a movie?
Yeah, it's the movie. It's the next movie in that series with Godzilla and Kong. And they showed like something that looked like a mix of a Godzilla and monkey thing. I don't know.
I think the only one I saw was Kong. And then I checked out. I heard Godzilla wasn't great. And then they just recently had the one where they team up or something, right?
So there was Godzilla and there was Kong Skull Island, which is probably my favorite one. That was really good. And then there was Godzilla King of Monsters with what's her name from Stranger Things, and then they had Godzilla
that
versus
one
Kong.
Is the worst.
Oh, I never saw it, so that makes sense.
Apparently, they're about to show Godzilla, and then they like pan to her face for whatever reason, like her reacting to it instead. People were complaining.
Godzilla versus Kong was good because it was just them fighting and stuff, so that was fun. That was a good time, and and that was like in 2021, right when people could go back to the movies and stuff, so that was fun. But yeah, and there was the only other trailer, another one, Fast X. So X is the theme here. The second trailer for that came out. To be honest with you, I kind of skimmed it because I feel like I've seen this already. And
there really wasn't much new to it. Yeah.
Like there was new stuff, but I feel like they're just showing all the cool action set pieces before the movie, and I would be like, what's the point of seeing the movie? That it's not like Dom's gonna die or something, so it's like, what's the point?
I mean, I always kind of check out during these trailers, and I'm sure I'll check out during the movie, so I won't hold it against it. But I mean, you could probably play me a trailer of like 2 movies ago, and I'd probably think this was the newest one.
Yeah.
Like, I I can't remember
Yeah,
how many people have died and then come back and are okay. It's just
all of
too
them
much.
except all of them except for the guy who actually died in real life, pretty much.
Whoa. Yeah. Okay.
Like, because the rumor is Gal Gadot might show up again, even though she fell out of a plane.
Yeah. I mean, the other guy literally died in a car crash or whatever. But it
No,
was
he didn't
okay.
die in a car crash. They had wanted
He
him to be an
was,
agent, and it was a fake car
yeah,
crash
so
death.
dumb.
Yeah, even though they showed that's why like Jason Statham showed up, and then he killed, like he was the point of the kill, and then it was like, just kidding, he actually didn't even
Yeah.
kill him. Yeah,
Now he's a good guy.
now he's a good guy. Now he's on our team.
Also,
So
does Jason Statham like not age?
no, he doesn't.
He looks exactly the same as 20 years ago.
Well, he's bald, so it's not like you're not like, you can't tell any hair difference. And
I
then
guess.
he does look good. He does a
Like he
great
doesn't
job.
look wrinkly or anything. He just looks exactly the same.
I will say that there's a scene in the 8th movie that people don't particularly like, but I thought it was not bad, with Charlize Theron's in that one, but the first one she's in. But there's a scene where he's fighting on a plane and he's killing these guys, and he's like keeping a baby, so he doesn't show the baby like him shooting people in the face. So he like turns the baby around and stuff, and he's like carrying it around. That was a pretty awesome scene, actually.
So goofy.
But
I don't think I saw that one.
it reminds me of like a transporter type thing, that scene. But anyway,
Mhm.
by the way, I'd see another transporter with him in it.
They did several like ones without him, like with other transporters.
Yeah, well, that's not the same.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
Well, anyway, but yeah, so that was that on the trailers this week. Just another kind of slow week on that. On it, well, there was like horror movie trailers and stuff, but we're not like particularly
We're not
into that.
interested.
Yeah, so there's there.
I mean, we had a ton of trailers last week, right? Like a lot.
We did. Yeah,
Like
and I think
so much.
this week is CinemaCon, so, and I'm sure we'll get definitely some new stuff this week, because all the distributors are going to have their panels and everything at CinemaCon, so I'm sure we'll get some news and rumors and whatever coming out of that, so that we'll have plenty to talk about next week, I'm sure.
Off the top of your head, do you know when Indiana Jones comes out?
Indiana Jones is going to be June.
Okay.
Mid-June, I want to say, or end of June.
I feel like I've seen like 20 trailers of that one. I feel like it should have come out by now. So.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I think July or maybe June, July, something like that.
Yeah, summer. I figured summer. Yeah,
definitely summer.
Well, we can jump into the review. I mean,
let's
this
do
will
it.
probably be a long one because I like to talk about Star Wars. So
yeah, we'll see. I don't know if I'm gonna have as much to say on this one this time, but Indiana Jones is Luke's film, so is this. We're talking about The Mandalorian season 3. So one half of this season is a good season, the other half is okay. Boba Fett kind of messed this show up, because the parts that I was interested in that they were going to cover in a 3rd season of The Mandalorian, they already covered in that show. I won't get into like what they did until later, but that kind of screwed that up. And now it's just kind of part of the Filoni-verse, and I don't really care about all that. So whoop-de-doo. But I did like a lot of the lore that they did with the Mandalorians and stuff, with the mythosaur and that stuff. I think that stuff is actually kind of cool. I half of this felt like classic Star Wars, and the other half felt like garbage new Star Wars.
Yeah, I would say the biggest problem is with that is because they're trying to make the new Star Wars, like it actually makes sense. That's
Yeah,
why.
but I don't care. I'd rather them just ignore it.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's clearly not the direction LucasArts wants. So,
yeah. LucasArts doesn't exist. That was the video game company, but
Lucasfilm, sorry.
Yeah. For me, this season was a 6. And
I think I agree with you.
I just think it's a come down from the first 2 seasons. I think are great.
I think the season 2 is actually the best, but
yeah,
like this is a huge step down. I think Lucasfilm is telling them they need to make it longer or something. They're kind of just spinning their wheels. Like there's some filler episodes for some reason.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm saying I think there's fillery type because Boba Fett already, the part that I was interested in, the Jedi stuff, is already kind of done away with by this season because Boba Fett it was already in that show. So that's why it kind of bothers me. I think it's still a fun show.
It's still good. Yeah. I mean, if you've seen the first 2 seasons, you've probably already seen season 3. Definitely, if you're going to start Mando, don't start with this season. Obviously, you probably wouldn't anyways.
Yeah.
But ultimately, with it only being 8 episodes long, you just can't have filler. It doesn't make any sense. Like if you want to have filler, that's fine, but this needs to be like 12 episodes or 18 episodes if you want to go flesh out every nook and cranny of the universe. And that way it's less forgiving when you want to see, the last 2 episodes or, that kind of lore stuff that can be like a 4-part arc instead of a 2-part arc. And you have to snap to each thing over and over again.
Yeah, I will say the first 2 and the last 2 episodes are like one really good thing. And there's bits and pieces of the 4 in the middle that I do like. It felt kind of weird and disjointed, and I just think that they had to go, what are we gonna do? I think our stuff has kind of already been told a little bit, and we have to like figure it out. They're making it like it's like a shared universe, and the Mandalorian before was just kind of like its own thing, and then we got to like shove in Mandalore and Bo-Katan's family, and Ahsoka's gonna come up. Like I saw this thing where they're like, before you see Ahsoka, you need to watch these arcs of this TV show and this and this and that and this. And I was like, I don't want that coming into something.
You don't need to. I think they're gonna make it
when you watch
seamless if you want to start
this trailer for Ahsoka was like, oh, this person and this person. I'm like, I've not seen this show.
You have to understand, this show is made for the fans who watched that. So yes, there's going to be pandering to those people.
The Mandalorian wasn't that. Like it was just kind of its own thing, and then they're kind of like just.
What do you mean? Season 2 is literally chock full with all stuff that's not Mandalorian.
Yeah, but I mean, like that, like Boba Fett and stuff, at least, and Luke Skywalker, like that's from the originals. It's not from like an animated TV show.
So it's okay if it's from the originals, but not okay if it's from some other Star Wars
if it's
content.
From the all-time greatest stuff, the stuff that people talk about, the reason why we actually are watching a Mandalorian to this day. It's okay if it's
people talk about Clone Wars and people talk about the prequels just as much.
I disagree.
Just because it's not you talking about it, you're just not interested in it. People are interested in it. That's why it's being made.
I agree. I'm just saying it makes it a worse show. I'm sorry, because it's just not as good as the originals. So
And
That's how I see it.
Ahsoka was in that one as well in season 2, and it was a great episode.
Yeah, but it wasn't like, oh God, we have to like pivot and do all the like. They're trying to do like MCU or something. That's like not the same.
Season 2, like from episode 3, it's like Boba, Ahsoka, Luke, and then Mandalorians, the Bo-Katan troop, like literally the rest of the season, and then it literally ends with Luke. Spoiler for season 2. So yeah. I will say Mandalorian season 2 is barely Mando, barely.
But I feel like this one really sidelines him. But it's called The Mandalorian. It's not called Din Djarin, so yeah. I guess you could kind of say like fudge that or whatever. But
I agree with you. This time around, what they sidelined him for is not interesting in the slightest. So I'm in the same camp as you. It's just you can't be upset when they sidelined him when they've already sidelined him in another season.
I know, but then they also did Mandalorian 2.5 in Boba Fett, so there you go.
Yeah.
So let's get into spoilers here. So yeah, like they resolved the whole stuff with Luke in Boba Fett. So this season I felt like they were like, well, we got to do something. I like Mandalore. I like the Mandalorian stuff, them flying around on jetpacks and stuff. They're actually using jetpacks and stuff is cool. It's just that like, I don't care about Thrawn, and I don't care about
I mean, they barely talk about Thrawn.
The like, cloning,
probably like 10 minutes.
But it's a clear thread. They're going, oh, this is coming up to this movie that they're gonna make, where it's supposed to be like the culmination of the Mandalorian and Ahsoka and all that stuff that's gonna happen.
Yeah, it is sad that Mandalorian is like that character is being roped into the whole Filoniverse, as you called it.
Yeah. He even put himself in the show. He's like, I'm at the cool.
He was in season 2 as well.
He was.
He's already done that. Yeah, he's always been in the background with his dumb hat.
Oh, okay. Well, good for him. Yeah, I just feel like it's just not as interesting, that stuff. I don't want him to be like a little link in the chain. I want them to be the main character of the show, if he is the main character of the show.
I do think it's interesting. It's just they didn't do it like well. They're too all over the place. Like I said, if this was a longer season or even just longer episodes, like we're getting like 30-minute episodes for some reason.
Yeah, they were always kind of short. The longest episode is an episode that really has nothing to do with the grand scheme.
Meaning whatsoever. I mean, I think it will have a little bit more.
Well, they're talking about the stupid clones and stuff. That's the only thing that they're kind of the reason. But it didn't need to be that long. It could have been 15 minutes.
Yeah, that was like the longest episode. Yeah, that was like almost 40 minutes hour or something. Yeah,
you got the stuff that in the beginning of that episode with like the Mandalorian shooting and stuff, and it was like, woo, that was fun. And then I was like, okay, now
and it cuts to it with like no explanation or anything, and then just cuts back. Like that happened.
Well, the thing about it is, I actually did find it interesting, like as its own thing. Like I
agree with you. I found it interesting too.
He's actually good. He's a good actor. That guy who's a scientist is pretty good, and the lady who is clearly the bad guy, like it was so obvious that she's bad. Like how that guy was even fooled by her is insane to me. But she's actually the same lady in Ant-Man and the Wasp. She's like the warrior or whatever. Person, and I like her. She's good. I will watch her in other things.
I think the arc was fun. Like that arc would have been fine in a longer season.
Yeah, it was weird. It felt like they should have either gone shorter or longer, like one of the two.
If they went shorter, that should have been cut.
Yeah,
the Jack Black episode. See you later.
I didn't hate that episode. It actually did it kind of felt like Star Wars
Yeah.
still, like
Well, okay.
like the Jedi's.
None of the episodes are bad. Okay. None of the
Yeah,
episodes are bad. But if you were gonna fix this season, that's
yeah,
what it either needed to be cut or you needed to extend the important bits that we get
yeah,
instead of, in the last episode, we're stopping in a cave for like 2 seconds to be like, oh, we could grow grass here. Okay, see ya.
yeah.
It's just
That was
like,
yeah. Yeah, it was. It did feel like they went on like an old person going on tangents or something. That's what
mhm.
it did kind of feel like. Yeah, like I said, I feel like half of it was like classic Star Wars. Like so the first episode is just basically setting up the season, and then the second episode when they go to Mandalore and everything, and then he gets captured by that creature
Yeah.
thing. That's
So
what
you
you didn't
liked
like
it?
that? I
The
liked it.
creature thing?
I thought it reminded me of classic Star Wars, where someone gets captured by this like crazy creature, or like there's weird alien creature things, and they're in peril, like like they're in the swamp or something, and
Yeah, I didn't
stuff like that.
like. I don't dislike the action or anything of it. I dislike that was like the whole reason why she got the dark saber or whatever. Like that's how they
Oh,
explained that away.
oh, that didn't bother me. It's like the dark saber thing. The thing about it is I don't really care about the dark saber thing, and it just got crushed like nothing. It was like,
I know that's my
is
whole
it
point. Is
important
like
or not
you're gonna
important? I
go
don't know.
over this. Yeah, like just make up your mind. She should have just gotten it at the end of the last season, but then she could have already gone to Mandalore, I guess. And then
Yeah. Well, they like I said, they set it up so well in the end of the last season, and then they kind of just weirdly sidestepped it, and then they were like, "Oh, we don't know what to do." And then also the dark saber, who cares that much? It
yeah,
doesn't
they
seem
like
like.
season 2 was a great jumping off point. We didn't know it was gonna happen to Grogu and stuff, and then they just backstepped everything that they
Yeah,
did in season 2.
yeah,
They backstepped it,
yeah.
and so yeah, this whole season has been one giant backstep to 6 out of 10 instead of like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 Star Wars.
Yeah,
So
they definitely got kneecapped a little bit in this season. I the thing is that they're wanting to focus more on Bo-Katan, and people are whining about that. But I like Bo-Katan actually. I think she's good as
yeah, I like
the actress
Bo-Katan
is
too.
good as her, Katie, whatever her name is. But yeah, it was just felt kind of weird that it was just like, okay, it's Bo-Katan show now.
It really was, yeah.
But I like but I like her though, so that's like I kind of feel weird about it because it's not her show, but I like the character, so it's like I have that weird like back and
Yeah.
forth about that. I get kind of weird
Well,
about
if
that.
they extended the show, they could have like episodes with the other Mandalorians and actually like getting to know how they train or something like that. And there can actually be some camaraderie between them.
Yeah.
They're all just faceless people, and it's very snap to the
Well,
next thing.
some of them are faceless. Some of them can have them off now for some reason because they've brought the tribes together there. Some of them
Oh,
cannot wear a
yeah.
mask, and some of them can. Some of them have to.
Yeah, they really haven't explained that yet. If
So if
they're
they
just teaming up to take it back, and then
wait,
they're gonna fight each other again.
so if they have kids and they do it, do they wear the helmets while they're doing it? They're just helmeted and nothing else.
I would assume. I have no idea.
And how do you fall in love if you can't see somebody's face? Like they could be butt ugly. You don't know.
That's the question you're asking.
I have lots of questions with that.
People will literally fall in love over just chatting on the computer.
Yeah, but there's
Like,
usually a
they're-
picture involved.
If you say so, I guess.
I would assume there's a picture involved. Yeah. Anyway, I thought that was kind of weird. I don't know. It's just that things like, oh, they just go. I feel like everything was just like, okay, he's kicked out of the tribe. you need to go to the waters. And he's like, all right, I'm going to go. Oh, it's not poison. We're good. I'm going to take a dip and we're good. And then it's like,
Yeah. There's
and
so many like little plot holes like that.
well,
Like,
it's not a plot hole. It's just like it was quick. And then they were like, all right, time to go to our filler, their third episode with a lot of filler.
mhm.
Yeah, it sucks because the filler was, I still think the filler was fun and
The
interesting.
filler's good. Yeah. It just, we needed more on the other stuff.
I like the like pirates and stuff, and they're all like kind of practical with makeup. Big, plant pirate
Oh, yeah.
guy
And the space flying and
thing and
stuff. Like
stuff.
his ship is so amazing. I love his ship.
Yeah, Naboo Starfighter.
Yeah,
awesome.
so I was like, that was a good episode. I think that was one of the better ones. But yeah, really, they're like, we gotta protect Navarro for about 5 milliseconds, and then we're out of here. See ya. We're going to Mandalore.
Yeah,
You were just a stepping stone for literally half a day.
they're always a stepping stone. That town is always a stepping stone. I don't know. It was just like, oh, I can't. And then she goes to the guy who's in the Republic, the dad from Kim's Convenience, and he's like, oh, I can't help you, but I'm gonna help you still under the table later. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
why do you even follow any of the rules? You clearly don't care that much.
I mean, it's just so he doesn't help, and it's the right away that they don't help in every other scenario where people need help.
Yeah,
And apparently, none of the rebels need to go on patrol or anything. They're all just drinking beer in their bar
yeah.
all the time because that's the only time we see them.
It's clearly it's so stupid because they have to write in that the First Order comes back, right? So the Empire comes back as the First Order, so they're like the Republic's a bunch of dummies, like
dumb gum gums. Yeah,
I was like they won the rebels went through everything, and then it's like, oh, but the people after are dumbasses.
Yeah.
So
the rebels in Andor who plan all these super secretive, impossible schemes, and then they become the leaders and they don't know how to do jack diddly.
And they're idiots. Yeah, it's so weird. It's so weird. It's like, why are you trying to fix the stuff that came after? They should just do it their own thing. That's why I'm saying I don't like it being part of a full universe or whatever, like going into the full lore.
Yeah.
I would be I'm more interested in the other, like the stuff that they're doing later in the timeline, the earlier stuff. Moff Gideon's back and he has clones, I guess, but they might be dead. They may not be dead.
That was so mishandled as well. Like, we should have seen him escaping and stuff. Like, it shouldn't just been like, oh, this is the wreckage of, who was in here? Moff Gideon. Oh,
I actually thought that was kind of fun. That where they're like seeing the wreckage and you see like I actually thought that was kind of like creepy or whatever. I'm okay
like
with him.
If you're carting across some guy across the planet universe for some reason, even though you'd be in hyperspace, I don't know how you just get attacked. But
I don't know how hyperspace works. There's whales out there apparently.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I mean, you should just be able to go to hyperspace and just pop up at the other way. It doesn't matter. They did that very poorly. We should have seen it happen. We should have known Moff Gideon was back, like at the beginning of the season.
We knew he was back. Like, it's not like he was not going to show up. Like, it was pretty obvious he was going to come back.
Yes, it was obvious, but I'm saying us as the viewer should have known that, but the characters didn't know he was back.
I just feel like everybody's a moron. That he's on this Empire Council and apparently has a secret base on Mandalore. I was like, how do you guys not know that there's a secret base on Mandalore, like an Empire base? Like, wouldn't you see like some ships coming in with
if you're talking about the survivors? Yeah, they should have known.
But like, wouldn't somebody see
Yeah,
like some
I
ships
was trying
coming
to write
down?
that away like during the episode. I was like, maybe they're gonna betray him, and they were actually working for the Empire the whole time. That's why they didn't say anything. Nope, they're just good guys. They're just really dumb.
It was like people thought it was going to be the armorer was the turncoat or something, and like they're just going to be like, I got you or
I never
whatever.
thought that.
Well, I'm not saying it's was going to happen. I'm just saying it was. People were thinking maybe that's who turned on them or whatever. She's tired of idiots, I guess. I don't know. I'm not saying it would have been great or anything. I'm just saying was, but it just didn't make any sense. Why? How were they there the whole time? And it was very well built. I guess they didn't have to deal with any people.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, they probably took in like. That must have taken like 3 star frigates or something,
and how
to
would the
build that.
New Republic not know? Aren't they confiscating everything? Like how are this stuff just slipping under their noses? It's so weird because they're in the outer rim or something.
Yeah,
Or
it is technically. Well, actually, I don't think Mandalore is in the outer rim. I don't think, but I mean, it's a planet that's supposed to be not hospitable. So
it was just the season was just a disappointment in compared to the other seasons. It's just like what happened. I got what I needed. There was a lot of cuteness still. You got now Din Grogu there. I guess it's a last name there. Din is a last name. And
I mean, the last 2 episodes were good, but they were just really goofy and corny and stuff in places that I like when Din is fighting the royal guards or whatever.
Yeah.
And Grogu's just like, slide to the right.
Yeah.
Slide to the left.
I don't know. That just stuff doesn't bother me. And I feel it's weird because like corniness, I still think Star Wars is corny. Like in a lot of its things are very just like melodrama-ish type stuff. And there's always like the puppets and stuff like that. It all fits in Star Wars. So that
I mean, him in the robot suit and stuff doesn't bother me. I just thought
that was stupid.
Kind of lame.
I thought that was dumb. And when it gets smashed down and then he comes out of it, I was like, this is stupid. I didn't like the suit at all. I did like his reaction, his interaction with whatever those little creatures, Babu Frick's cousins there. Squeezy.
Yes.
I love it.
We get it, Daniel. Anything involving him, you automatically love, no matter what.
Because he's awesome. And lots of people watch this show just because of him being little cute puppet. Telling you.
Yeah. Well, it's maybe that's why people are not tuning in anymore, because he's very just a side.
Yeah.
At this point.
Right. They kind of the thing that was so interesting about the Mandalorian is in that first episode they revealed that there's a baby Yoda at the end of the first episode. That is what got people interested. And then his story is pretty much done. They even did the Order 66 thing, but he got away with Jar Jar Binks. The Jar Jar Binks' actor there, Ahmed Best, good for him. But they never went back to that. But like the part that was interesting for me is the Mandalorian.
I kind of saw that going nowhere. So
Din Djarin is interesting, and Grogu's interesting, and they're both sidelined in this season heavily. I would say the only thing that was really fillery for me that I really thought was just stupid was when the kid gets taken from the beach that clearly they shouldn't be on because it's Murder Beach there, and then they have to go rescue him. That was the only real filler episode that really bothered me. And I was like, this was just garbage. Like, this is crap.
They run out of gas.
Yeah.
And then the other guy can just fly up
into space with no problem. Lots of gas. I guess he took reserve packs.
He grabbed another one in there when he was there.
So stupid. But that was truly the episode, the only episode that I was like, this was a waste of time. Like this, I could skip this episode pretty much.
I still think you could skip the Jack Black one, But yeah.
Well, they have.
Like the whole reason for that was for them just to talk to the Mandalorians, the other Mandalorians. That was the
Yeah,
whole reason for all of that.
but it kind of reminded me of like the Jedi going on their investigative missions type thing, and they're like figuring out something. Like that's something that they've done in Star Wars before, so it didn't really bother me. And
Yeah,
you
they've
know what?
also fought monsters in Star Wars as well.
Yeah, but it was like
They're both filler, Daniel. You can't pick which filler you want and which
I'm
filler you don't want. You got to
telling
pick
you,
a camp.
well, first of all, I'm telling you which filler I found interesting, I guess is the what I'm saying. And I
Okay.
found that the Jack Black and Christopher Lloyd and Lizzo's not a great actress, but there was actually, at least there was more to that episode. That one was just straight up just them picking up that kid, and that was it. That was the whole episode. Like there wasn't
Mhm.
anything in that
And
episode.
then they even like brought the dragons back, and apparently all they did was cook them.
Cook them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yep.
Yeah. I agree with you. That was probably the worst film. Well, I don't know. That Jack Black thing was pretty cringe. I don't know.
It didn't bother me because I don't know. It felt like because they were on Coruscant, maybe, or like kind of Coruscant
Yeah, all
looking.
the other stuff,
and,
just them in general. Like,
and I like
takes me
droids.
completely out of it.
I like droids. They went to like a droid bar or whatever. I thought that was kind of fun. And I don't know. There's stuff about just kind of detective-y.
I don't see
liked
why
it.
you don't watch Clone Wars, because that's like straight out of Clone Wars.
Yeah. But would you call those episodes filler episodes?
Yes.
Oh, well, maybe. I probably like the filler episodes of Clone Wars more than the actual.
Yeah, there is a lot of filler in Clone Wars.
I would rather watch Jar Jar Binks episodes of Clone Wars, probably. So there you go. I don't know.
Mhm.
I have weird tastes too, so I'm not always the best, but like I don't really have much else to say about the season. I thought that was just kind of disappointing. I don't know. Is there something? What you got? Anything?
No, yeah, I agree with you there. I think like the studio is telling them to wait, and they're like, okay, we'll just kind of spin our wheels and make some filler episodes to make more seasons. I think is what ultimately happened. I don't know why they're not getting more seasons. Maybe because they're not getting more viewers. They're actually getting less. So
For me,
maybe
I would say to that, I feel like they kind of gave them a place where they could kind of leave it there if they need to. Because I think Ahsoka is going to pick up on the things that they talked about in this season. I think that's what they're kind of doing. And then after Ahsoka, see what they're going to do from there, and then have a real because they're going to do that movie or whatever. Apparently, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if those movies ever actually get made. But
from what I heard, that movie's not supposed to come out for like 6 or 7 years, is what I heard.
That's insane.
So it might be. I don't know if that means like there's going to be a bunch of seasons out before that. So I don't know if that's true. But there's still could be many more seasons to come. That's why I'm saying they might just be spinning their wheels to extend the duration of the seasons. Yeah, I don't. Maybe you can find that in a quick Google search. I don't know. But ultimately, this season suffered from just like a lack of direction for some of the episodes and whatnot.
Yeah, I don't know. Everything about it kind of worries me. On like, yeah, I just hope they're not just doing that. Just kind of. I don't love the placeholder. Just kind of crumbs. Yeah, here's your Star Wars crumbs or whatever type.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's okay. So it says that. Yeah, it would probably be, like 4 or 5 years, because that, the one with Rey is supposed to come out in like 2025. So
It's supposed to come out after that one.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it'll be a while. Yeah.
So yeah, it's like 4 or 5 years. Well, because like it'll be like I think they're doing it was the Ray movie and then the Filoni movie and then the Mangold movie. And
Yeah,
that would be
which
the order.
means Mangold's like 2027 or something like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah,
Jeez,
that's quite. So I think there'll be I don't know if it'll be another Mando season or if it's just going to be like Ahsoka series and then they're going to make like some broader series or something that fits them all in. I don't know.
I don't know. They were talking about the one about like a Sith or something. I definitely would be interested in that show because I don't think we've gotten a lot of that. I really liked the Tales of the Jedi about Dooku. So, and there's going to be another season of that.
They're doing like the Japanese studios,
the Visions.
Yeah, I saw a trailer for that. I think that's coming out pretty soon, right?
Oh, cool. I definitely am interested in more Tales of the Jedi for sure. Is there any?
I think they're dropping it all at once as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is there any Tales of the Jedi you'd be interested in them doing?
Grievous would be cool.
Not a Jedi.
Oh, I mean, I guess that's true. Tales of the undergrade Sith. Well, you could do a tale of a Jedi that discovers him or something, and then he beats him and he gets his lightsabers or whatever.
Okay, I could see that. Yeah, well, like, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, where he because he has like.
Because he has 4 lightsabers, right? But
foes that he's
supposed
defeated.
to have beaten those. Yeah, exactly. So
okay.
It'd be like kind of like an origin for him or something because he's all like half robot, half alien. So it might be kind of interesting.
I would like to see one about someone really random, like because Yaddle was in the one with Dooku. I would like to see something like that. I would like to see like a Kit Fisto or a Chaotic Mindy Tales of the Jedi.
I actually had some Kit Fisto episodes in Clone Wars that were pretty cool, where he actually fights Grievous, and he actually loses his Padawan in that one. So kind of interesting.
I would like
definitely no origin of him though, but
or the exact opposite, like a Luke Skywalker. Like,
what do you mean? Like,
where he's like training people in the academy, or just him doing stuff, maybe doing stuff with Obi-Wan. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've said for so long they should just stop touching Luke and Obi-Wan and just let it be.
Yeah, I'm trying to think
they don't listen to that. So,
well, I would assume they would do the same thing that they did last time with two Jedis. So,
yeah, I guess if we're just talking Jedi here, I mean, I've said for so long we need a like young Yoda series. Like,
there's a lot of Yoda time to go through.
Yeah, well, 700 years or something. I'm sure they can pull one story that's interesting, right?
Yoda could be in the thing about the early Jedi that they're making. Like, that's how old he is.
I think that's like that's like, you're talking about the thing that's like before the Old Republic. I don't think he's that old.
I don't know how old he is. But yeah, I would like to see a young Yoda thing would be cool. But yeah,
Windu would be cool. But then they'd have to get him on board. But
I'm sure they could. He was working at Disney.
He's the was he the Padawan of? I think Dooku was like Dooku was the Padawan of Yoda. Okay, so I don't think Mace Windu was trained by anyone like super important or anything.
Ooh, the young Yoda, and then you have Dooku there. That'd be cool.
I mean, it would be cool to see Grogu being trained in the temple or something.
Yeah.
Because they've
Yeah.
never shown him until, he was created.
He got
So,
well, that part in between where the Mandalorian picks him back up, he's training with Yoda. That would be interesting, just to see that little time frame with Luke would be interesting.
yeah, that would be cool. I would like to see him with like some other younglings or something, and he's just like, eating some apples or something on the side, not caring.
I would watch the shish kebab out of that.
Oh, okay.
I'll watch him eat apples. Adorable. Anyway, yeah, I'm hopeful that there's other good Star Wars stuff. It's just I wouldn't say this was bad. It was just underwhelming. Is the word I would use. But
well, you're right. They're holding back. I hope they go like crazy with Ahsoka. I have really high hopes.
Well, it looks like they're shoving a lot in there. So
yeah, just as long as if there's a lot in there, don't put filler in it. Just let it be all the show.
Yeah, I think at least that's what it looks like. But we'll never know.
All right. Well, I think that wraps up our review then.
Yeah. That was probably time of the review a while ago, but yeah, I don't know. It just kind of blows because I like the show, and I still like The Mandalorian a lot. The first couple seasons, so
I agree. There wasn't really that much to mull over at the end, like the last season. Like the last season ending was like,
oh my god,
just crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. I don't know why they did it the way that they did it, but it is what it is.
Well, like I said, I think they're backstepping to make it longer.
All right.
Well, we'll see you guys on the next one.
See you later.